What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling illuminated today, Cancer. That's what's coming up to my head, so we're just gonna roll with it. I hope you are feeling bright there, Cancer. You're so what's that? What's a good word for it? Incandescent. There we go. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Drive. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just phenomenal, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based upon ruler here, the good old moon. I actually got to see her. I'm so geeked up because I saw her the other day, Cancer. I think I'm going to post. You know what? I'm going to start posting pictures, Cancer, of Lunar Shenanigans. Just like whenever I just happen to catch her in the sky. Because I saw her twice yesterday. I saw her, it was early. The sun was still out. It was doing a lot, Cancer. But yeah, the moon's out to play. But yeah, I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of courses, all of those Lunar Shenanigans. And just so y'all aware there, Cancer, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you. Leave the rest with me. Never force reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. All right, Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Mars Day. It won't be official until 8:07 p.m. and that'll be Pacific time. But we are in the vernal equinox there, Cancer. Are you pumped? We are crossing into the new astrological year. You know, we're walking to a new portal there, Cancer. And this is a very big time. This is the time to kind of see, Cancer, where the sun happens to fall in your chart every time the vernal equinox is happening, to see what your focus is each year outside of like your solar return. Every time the sun, for me personally, it was when he's enters at 0 degrees of Aries. It's in my 8th house. So transformation, all those kind of scorpionic type of things. How I share energies on an intimate level. It's and it has been. Usually there is always some sort of change going on there, Cancer, each year. But this is a time to be very intentional with this energy. I feel that this year, especially how we're kicking things off with, there's going to be a lot of Aries energy here soon over the next, I'd say, week or so there, Cancer, especially when we get to the second eclipse energy. So, and when we're getting into all this energy there, Cancer, when we do start getting into like eclipse stuff, that does affect those, especially if you have like a Cancer sun or Cancer rising, or if you happen to have any Leo in your placements, maybe Leo sun, Leo rising, something like that. That energy between those two is a bit more potent, and especially if you have points around that too, it just adds on all types of layers of Cancer. So pay attention to that. And Cancer, the thing I love about this too, with the sun entering Aries today, I mean, it's Mars Day. Mars rules over Tuesdays, so that's fantastic. This is a time to check in with your energies, Cancer. I feel with how things may be starting to heat up, yeah, this is a time to maybe get out there, do some exercise if you have any sort of like pent up energy, or maybe you've been needing to slow down a little bit. Maybe this is doing some yoga. Maybe I've been getting like Tai Chi has been coming in my head a lot there, Cancer. Maybe we'll do something together here. And, maybe we'll do something together here, Cancer. But this is a time to really kind of get the body moving, to get things done, to just get the blood flowing there, Cancer, but not too aggressively because the moon's going void, of course. And luckily for you, Cancer, it's kind of a short one today. The moon is going to be going void, of course, at 11:52 a.m. and that will be Pacific time there, Cancer. Thank you, higher self. and then she'll be moving from Cancer into the fun-loving Leo at 12:32 p.m. So we're looking at about a 40-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And since it's almost an even split, but we're going to give this energy to us there, Cancer. Because with this with the waxing, first, getting ahead of myself. With the void of course energy there, Cancer, this is a time to recharge your batteries. This is a time to, it's when the moon forms her last aspect with a celestial body, and then there's no more energies that she's exchanged. She's not having any more conversations. She will not, the moon, it will not be seen for the duration of this sign. So, and I like that. She sets very healthy boundaries. And I feel like she invites you to do the same there, Cancer, because, the moon doesn't rotate. It's very fascinating. We really only see the one side of the moon. We never really see what's underneath the moon. We do see a fullness of her, but there is always a kind of secret there, Cancer. And I feel that's the side of you that she's wanting to pay attention to, the one that doesn't need to be on all the time. The one that does have these fluctuating emotions, that does need to kind of sit with themselves, that need to feel and to process and understand what's going on with them and what's even going on with the people and with the energies around you, Cancer, because with us having such sensitive energies and being as receptive and impressionable of an energy frequency as Cancer can be, we have to pay attention to when we are absorbing other people's, whether that's from the people we're commuting with, to the people we're working with, to our families, to our partners, lovers, friends. You need to take some time and just kind of be in. The moon, where planets, sure, they go retrograde, but the moon goes void of course quite often. So, this is something that, getting in a regular routine, Cancer, to exercise that nurturing energy on yourself and wherever you happen to have your Cancer placements, understand the emotions behind that. Because I feel once you get that familiarized there, Cancer, that just makes you a more effective healer, makes you more compassionate, makes you more patient, more just empathetic, Cancer. It's just a real kind of very King of Cups kind of emotional or just emotional wisdom that comes, I feel, with that Cancerian frequency. So yeah, the void of course energy too there, Cancer. You may notice that starting up things within this energy may be a little tricky, but again, luckily it's only 40 minutes there. And people may be less likely to make decisions during this time. Your plans may be subject to unexpected changes. So just some things to keep an eye on out there for Cancer. And then we are in a waxing gibbous moon in Cancer. And Cancer, what I was kind of feeling with this is that I feel this waxing gibbous is like inviting you, because I don't know about you, Cancer, but I feel like this with everything that's been kind of ramping up in things, it has been a bit of an overwhelming, I feel, especially between this new this lunar cycle, because I feel like it's because it started on such intuitive energy, that there is this new getting into that co-creation with source, and it involves, I feel like there's some complex feelings that come up with that. And I feel this waxing gibbous is inviting you to allow whatever feelings that may come up for you, allow them to just kind of be there, Cancer. I feel like not to force them away, to find ways to nurture them, as things make sense. If we have the time, take maybe the day off work, have that kind of real kind of time to mental stuff, like really prioritize what you're going through here. Because I feel this waxing gibbous as in that once you do that taking care, then we can start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Then we get to, but I feel that it's going to be where, and again, as it makes sense, Cancer, we don't want to force these types of things, but we want to learn to sit with whatever discomfort maybe is kind of coming up for you with the emotions, I feel. And what I'm seeing is like when we get to that full moon in Libra there, Cancer, all this work that has been kind of been going on, since you've been kind of just tuning in to the cycles a little bit more, tuning into your body a bit more, you'll start noticing how these little tips and things and practices have kind of culminated together. It may not be perfect, is what I'm feeling. And I feel like emotions aren't perfect. When you're understanding them, how they go about, it's just like, and you get caught up in something, it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make it any less of a fact, and I just feel that there's this compassion that is kind of coming, I feel this energy is inviting you there, Cancer, just to meet yourself where you're at and understand that you have come away from where you've been, and to take some time and to reflect on that as well, to really kind of see like, man, I've come a long ways from X, when I used to do this or when I used to do that. Now I still may do that thing from time to time, but it's not nearly as much. There may not be, maybe this was food, maybe this was substances, maybe this was sticking to a routine, maybe this was speaking up for you, whatever this is that we happen to be working on there. But yeah, I feel there's just some more things I feel like just kind of coming together there, learning to just sort of ride out this intuitive wave that may be kind of coming through here, maybe emotional wave that may be coming through for you, Cancer, may coming through with the weeks to come. Because now, and last thought with this, Cancer, now that we are in the vernal equinox, Mercury's been doing some squaring with our placements, and now, I want to say they're in their retrograde shadow right now, so we're getting ready to get, in which I feel like is going to be kind of nice to have this sort of mental slowdown a little bit with the Mercury retrograde. But, we are getting to where the energies are kind of forming squares with our Cancer placements. So this is going to be where you may feel some tensions coming up here, and especially with all the personal planets around, once we get towards like early April, we'll have a lot of personal planets moving through Aries. So just something to be mindful of. This is a time to get some eyes on some things there, Cancer. See if there's something that really kind of throws you out of whack, or just as that makes sense. And it doesn't have to be anything like super, but just something that just you've been maybe clinging on to, or however that may be translating for you. And if you're curious about how these energies are translating in your chart there, Cancer, this could be maybe we learn to work with your moon placement a bit more closely, maybe doing like a lunar return chart, and maybe just understanding, however we need to see how the moon moves through your houses, even, whatever we know as we're kind of getting to understand each other and, where we're trying to get to go. This could be where you book a reading with me, Cancer. I have links down in the description box below with all of the services that I offer. I'm going to be changing that up here shortly, just adding some extra stuff there for you, Cancer, give you a little bit of variety. And I have those links also on my Instagram page as well. But yeah, I got some exciting stuff there. That I got cooking up here, Cancer, that I've been kind of thinking about in the mix. So hopefully we'll be working together soon there, Cancer. And yes, and then also down in that description box, Cancer, before that, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, except these two, I gotta get on that. So check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I really enjoyed there. Cancer, a couple of them actually have a Cancer moon there, and I think I may have said those last time, but happy lunar return. And also, there's a link for an astrologer down there, a couple links for some podcasts that I've been listening to, some apps, and some websites down there as well. There, Cancer, there's really just all sorts of, it's a treasure trove down there. Avail yourself of that there, Cancer. Let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day, which is, look at this. I like this, Cancer, because you have the lizard spirit here. And this is a card to dream the world into being. And I like this, Cancer, because I feel that Cancerian energy is one that has a very rich inner world, and we're very comfortable in that energy. I feel in being able to feel such emotions in such a rich and nuanced way, that invites you to, especially when you find, maybe certain emotions that are a little more trickier for you, difficult to deal with, finding ways to express them. This could be maybe through motion. This could be through art. This could be through music. This could be through dance. This could be through gardening, landscaping. Maybe this is house, maybe we're shifting stuff around the home space. But I feel that, and that's very interesting too, that this would come up when we're transitioning from Cancer into Leo, because Leo takes the energy, that rich inner world that Cancer does find sanctuary in, and brings that to life. Now we go from that emotional understanding, that subjective energy, and now it gets a bit more extroverted. It gets more objective, and we get to this, creative self-expression, and this energy of, even in the deep emotions and things, being able to find the happiness, the enthusiasm for life, because this is a precious, it's going with that eyes of our inner child, and letting that inner child go, and letting those dreams kind of come true there, Cancer. So I feel whatever this world what you're trying to dream into being, it's giving me like a 10 of Cups, kind of a 10 of Pentacles here, energy. And this is kind of what Saturn and Pisces has been doing with it's been forming these trines with your Cancer placements. And I feel like it's what Saturn's doing, going, that him and Neptune are kind of wrapping up their time in Pisces around the same time. I feel that Saturn's coming through, since Neptune, we're not going to experience that energy again, Cancer. So Saturn's coming through, and it's just like, hey, these gifts that Neptune has been bestowing upon you, what are you doing with them? Hey, you have great ideas. Let's see them. Hey, you could do blah, blah, blah. Hey, have you ever thought about doing this to make yourself feel better? Maybe incorporate, when people say spiritual practices, maybe if meditation is your thing, maybe it's picking up a paintbrush. Maybe it's picking up a quill. So look at you, fancy Cancer. I see you writing on scrolls, Shakespeare. But maybe this is writing a play, Cancer. I'm with it. It's a TV series. But this is a time, Cancer, I feel like almost with this lizard energy, shed this old skin, and now we're coming into a fresh, revitalized energy with all this Aries. And this is being a bit more courageous, being a bit more assertive in expression, in this self-expressive type of energy here. And again, it doesn't have to be something, I'm going to get some tarot, Cancer. I feel like it doesn't have to be something where you're turning this into a career or anything along those lines, but it's just doing more things that help you, I feel, understand your internal world there, Cancer. Thank you, higher self. And able to help you process things and see life in a different type of way here. But let's see what the tarot's talking about. So you have the Moon card and the Two of Moons in reverse here, Cancer. And then you have the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the King of Wands here. And let's talk about this King of Wands, because I feel he's one that, fire energy is so creative. Fire energy, and the King of Wands is Sagittarius for me. And I feel with this energy, Cancer, for some, if you're not sure what your world is, then I feel like it's going out there and finding it. Going out there and going to getting inspiration, getting inspired, getting the energies moving. Eight of Wands. I feel that there's a quest, this journeying into the unknown. And this could be, this unknown, I'm getting for some, is more so about going within. Finding a certain side of yourself that is wanting to be put out there. Maybe you're, Queen of Swords. She's got a pretty wicked sense of humor. She's one that, maybe that's something that you want to maybe tell, or maybe this is something with storytelling, Cancer. But I do feel like what is when you go into that safe space, that imaginative space, what does that look like? What are you creating in there? And I know that sometimes that stuff can seem, how we visualize it in our heads, and then when we translate it, I'll tell you, I can see this lizard here, and when I go to draw, this lizard's had like 10 strokes. But I still feel like it's learning to appreciate that and knowing that with more practice, Cancer, you can get into a different type of flow. And this is interesting too. This Two of Moons, this is Venus in Cancer. And that's a very lovely place for the Empress to be. But it's what I bring that up to say is that Venus is that energy of expression. She is part of that, those energies that bring you serenity. And I feel like this expression of emotion, something here about that I feel will bring about this newfound celebration here, Cancer. It's like just the act of kind of the act of manifesting in a sense. And even just thinking about the moon, Cancer, and then I think I'm gonna move on. The moon card, this is Pisces. And Pisces is one of imagination. Where the sun is moving out of Pisces, we still have Venus that's moving along through there, getting ready to form a conjunction with Saturn. We have Neptune that's there, and then Mars is getting ready to enter there here in a few days. So this is going to be very intuitive energy. I feel this Mars energy, or excuse me, all this Aries energy fueled with this Mars. How I've been feeling it is a way to move the energies intuitively. Really kind of flex that intuitive muscle and see what comes up, Cancer. See how you can dream a totally different world into being. But this could, oh, there's a lovely Queen of Moons. This could be, well, let me get your cards here, Cancer, because basically we have a tower here. Mars. Interesting. Thank you, higher self. So, oh, and our ruler. All right, Cancer. The moon's out to play. So you have the Seven of Moons, the Eight of Swords, the King of Stars, and the Tower, Mars energy in reverse. And then you have, upright. And then you have the Queen of Moons and the High Priestess in reverse here, Cancer. And it's interesting. I was just saying, it's going to be a time to flex that intuitive muscle there, Cancer. And I feel with the High Priestess being in reverse, this could even be too, Cancer. When it comes to that, I feel like it's not just increasing that sensitivity. It's being able to not be overly stimulated as well. To not be, and I feel like it's because I feel like it's, how do I want to put this? Because I feel with the Seven of Moons here, that when I feel like it's overly stimulated, maybe even like the imagination is, I feel like it's one thing for the imagination to run wild and to be really inspired, really be creative. But the Seven of Moons, now we're getting into areas of distractions in a sense. And I don't feel like you're getting distracted, but I do feel like that it is understanding that, yes, you do have options, Cancer, in how you want to create, but try not to get stuck in those options. Try not to let the ideas. I'm almost like with this Eight of Swords, this is a very kind of graphic Eight of Swords, but it's almost like I just feel like just a bunch of paper cuts. It's like what's kind of going on here. It's like I don't know why that's coming through like that, but that's interesting. But the Tower being here, it's very interesting, Cancer, because I'm feeling this as, for some, I feel like this pursuit, the start of dreaming the world into being, I feel it could become across as a shock for some people about how things maybe start to change, how things start to open up. The King of Stars, a new like a new dip, like this new sort of like feeling this new sense of abundance, feeling a bit richer than before. Their Cancer, feeling creative, feeling. And Cancer, I've been even thinking about something with even how I've been going on the channel that like it's been coming up in a way, and I'm gonna actually I need to have a conversation with someone about you get a second opinion on that, but. Creativity, I feel, is something that I feel like it's the energy's way of recharging. It's the energy's void of course, in a sense. It's that time for you to just sort of recharge, just sort of be. It doesn't need to be perfect, because sometimes when I'm writing songs, for example, the lyrics aren't entirely clear. Sometimes they're just like la la la, some things. Sometimes there are some words in there. But it really, when you listen to, if I were just to send stuff like as I first write them up, it would not make any sense. The melody is very melodic, but that's what I feel like this it's this Queen of Moons is saying, like, it doesn't need to be something perfect. You don't need to be the next best whatever in order for this to be a healing experience. Just do something for, maybe you want to make some clothes. You don't have to make Gucci, but you just have to make something for you. Maybe you're knitting sweaters. Maybe you're knitting a sock. Maybe you're just knitting a square. But, like, look at that. We're making coasters. It's lovely, Cancer. So, dream this world into being. And I feel like the more that you do it, the more that, because I feel this Pluto in Aquarius energy is showing up in kind of sneakier ways than even I had paid attention to. It's very interesting where we can give up our individuality to, especially when it comes in terms to technology. So be mindful of that, Cancer. I feel that is something as a society we all kind of need to check in with that and see where maybe we've gotten a little, like maybe a little stagnant or a little lazy in that department. So, but let's get some advice from the lovely High Priestess. And I love that, Cancer, the Queen of Moons. That's Cancer energy for me. Oh, look at all this intuitive energy here, Cancer. This is a very, very little intuitive pocket here. I like this. I do love all this lunar shenanigans. Oh, we're getting ready to move there. All right, Cancer, you're singing over the energies. Take care of yourself. Last little bit here. Alright, so you have, Wifey's here, the Queen of Stars. So the Queen of Stars and the Strength card are here upright. And then you have the Hanged Man, the Page of Swords, and the Hangman's Neptune. Strength is Leo. And then the Hermit card here in reverse. And the Hermit card is Virgo. And let's switch back over. Because that's interesting, Cancer. This Queen of Stars Strength card, and then the Page of Swords being in reverse. I feel that this Page of Swords is a need, maybe not necessarily a need. Let me an invitation to do some creative thinking, to do some critical thinking, because the Strength card, Leo, is about. The reason the sun does so well in Aries is that Aries is about that self-expression. The Aries does have a strong sense of who they are. That is the point of Aries, to find that strong sense and be bold, confident, courageous, not aggressive with that, but to have this air. And Leo is the same thing, the Strength card. It's a similar thing. But now we're getting to this creative self-expression now. This is developing, a personality. Who am I? And the nice thing with Leo, where the creative aspect comes with that is that who am I can be whatever I want to be. Like it's literally the only limitation is the mind with this Page of Swords being in reverse. I mean, people have done some incredible things, Cancer. And I feel the Queen of Stars is tapping into those resources there, but it is seeing things from a new perspective. I feel with the Hanged Man being in reverse, and there's something here I feel that is this kind of epiphany type of energy with these two, but I feel it comes in that learning to see your outside or your like what's going on inside of you on the outside, and really get a more kind of tangible thing. This could be just even starting something as long as like journaling, even their Cancer. That's something I love to do. Like I have this little 20-minute routine where I'm, kind of swishing out my mouth, and I'll just do some journaling while that's doing like the oil pulling their Cancer. I'm a little aggressive when it comes to my healthcare. But if you saw my chart, you understand. Saturn's in my 6th house, and North Node's in my 6th house. 6th house is busy. But I do feel that it's just like in understanding those things, kind of seeing stuff down and being intentional. There are some times when I journal and I just write about just whatever, like, because of my, my moon's in Gemini. So it's just like, I just sometimes just need to dump some stuff, just clear the bucket. I've been absorbing a lot, learning a lot. But there are other times where you can be more intentional with it and really process some things and face some truths, and it can be cathartic, Cancer. So even in, especially in, I feel like just some sort of creativity, it finds a way to get out, Cancer. It's really cool. So just something to think about. But if you like that, Cancer, because this is cool. If you like that, or if anything resonated with you, Cancer, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, if you know someone who's been maybe feeling kind of down. Even like the Hermit energy can be this, sometimes like, it depends, but with this combination, it gives me more kind of epiphany. But I do feel there is, if you know someone who's needing to just kind of take a moment, kind of be with themselves, take in, kind of sit, kind of process some sort of emotions, develop this rich inner world, form a new relationship, even this Two of Moons, form a deeper relationship, co-creating with Source. I like that. And then, share this, Cancer. Share this, High Priestess. Excuse me. I forgot who I'm in the presence of. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each day. And then, last little video, Cancer. After we get done checking your chart there, seeing how your sun, your moon, your rising is, and seeing maybe where your Neptune placement is, or maybe you happen to have Pisces somewhere, or maybe you're wherever you're, maybe Mars and the moon. I actually know someone who has their moon or Mars is conjunct their moon, and it's actually, strong emotions. strong emotions. But after we get done learning that stuff about your Cancer, you can come over to my other channel, Alchemist 8, where I do videos where I talk about the astrological weather that's going on. I do monthly ones where I talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies, how the shifts are moving, things about that, retrogrades that are coming up. And I do that on the other one too. It's just more of a kind of a weekly breakdown, as the other one's a bit broader. And then I do yearly ones as well. I'm actually about to do Aries yearly one next there. And all that housekeeping, Cancer, is down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here. Oh, so I can get you out of here. Stay calm, Cancer. It's just the devil. You got Capricorn here. And with the devil, Cancer, I feel that, because that's interesting. When you get like Seven of Moons and devil energy, this I feel is something that maybe it's been struggling with for a while, something that's been sort of on again, off again. You get a grip of it, and then it kind of puts it in your face, and you're like, there's just and there's some, I feel the doors have closed. But the devil, and because the Seven of Moons can be like, for me, it's like my prelude to a devil moment. And I feel sometimes in those moments when we're in the in-between, I feel before we're enacting the moment, I feel that can be an invitation to be creative. That's a time to how do we break that cycle? Okay, let's take this energy and channel it somewhere more constructively. How does that look? Just giving it a try and then seeing like, yeah, like I do feel better. And that doesn't mean Cancer that devil doesn't win sometimes. But the devil is not an enemy. Devil's just trying to show like, hey, I know you said you got this, but when we're under these set of circumstances, when the moon's in, you do great when the moon's in a waxing gibbous in Cancer. But when she's in Leo in a waning gibbous, not so much. We're not feeling that. So, it just thank you yourself. Oh, I like this Cancer. But for your other card here, you have the Mother of Salt Waters, Queen of Moons, which this card is a card of passion, wild love, open your heart and let love in. And, Cancer, I feel in that creative self-expression, allowing you to let love in, release what's been holding you down with the devil, release that, understand it. I remember I was listening to a podcast not too long ago, and I loved how they put it. Even those parts that we may say, really learn to develop this compassion for yourself and to love all sides of you, Cancer. Even the ones that may not, that tend to dip into devil situations, because that side of you is trying to learn something too. All sides of you are contributing to this whole. And yeah, let love in for all aspects of you. And I feel when you do that, and one way to do that is, you get that energy out. And then they were saying to grieve that, this could be, let's say if this is a song, for example, you write a sad song and then, now we change up the lyrics, maybe change the melody a little bit. How do we fix that? Or if this is an art piece, maybe celebrate that and then, or not celebrate it, but give it space, mourn it. Maybe we're setting it on fire. But the point is something to release, some sort of ritual to make space for more love to come in there, Cancer. And for you to be able to dream the world into being. That's really lovely. I like that energy, Cancer. So I think I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there, Cancer, with all this energy. You absolutely dream your world into being. Keep eyes on the moon, Cancer. She's out and about, just doing her thing, just being lovely. You do the same there, Cancer. Just be lovely and be the just great Cancerian that you are. And I will catch you, Cancer. Getting emotional here. On the next one tomorrow.